TN News.
The Kisumu County Assembly has rejected the county's budget for 2019-2020 over alleged discrepancies. Our reporter Kevin Ogutu is following up on this story and now joins us for more details. Ogutu, over to you.
Well, a very good morning, and not a particularly good morning for the residents of Kisumu County because as late as on Saturday, the members of the County Assembly of Kisumu rejected the 10.4 billion 2019-2020 budget, and for various reasons they declared that some really glaring inconsistencies. We're talking about issues of pending bills, issues of underdeclared resources, not just from the national government but also from the other donors. The members of the County Assembly of Kisumu also raised concerns regarding the stalled projects, which they said if they are not factored in the next financial cycle, then this will mean that a lot of taxpayers' money shall have just gone down the drain like that. And just to get it from the horse's mouth, I'm really privileged to have with me here the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kisumu, who is none other than Onyango Olo. The issues are quite straightforward, and from your end, maybe we need to now look at how did we get there first of all, because looking at the entire region of Nyanza, we are talking about Kisumu and Nyamira that the Assembly are yet to pass the budget. So we are already behind schedule now. How did we get here in the first place?
Thank you so much. First and foremost, I refuse to be brought into comparison that in the whole region only Kisumu has not done it or only Nyamira. Let us do this. Let us approach it that we as the people of Kisumu want to do what is in the best interest of the people of Kisumu, what is in the best interest of our citizens as a whole. And that we will do irrespective of whether the rest have decided to do their way or not, one way or the other. Remember, our situation is totally different from one county to the other. I'll give you an example. Makueni County, we are told that they have only pending bills of worth 33 million. Kakamega, our neighbors here, we are told have zero pending bills. So you cannot put us in the same box and say, how come your brothers have done this and you have not done that? The circumstances prevailing in Kisumu dictated what did take place when we last met to deliberate over the budget.
Now, having said that, of course, we do appreciate that we have got different cases from one county to another, but we are now behind schedule, and you are the CEO of the County Assembly. Now, what do you have to say regarding this particular situation?
The issue about behind schedule is an issue that could even be a technical issue in terms of the constitutional provisions. When you look at Article 218, the Senate has to pass the Division of Revenue Bill, which it has not passed. So I could as well also argue that those who have passed budget, they have passed the budget based on what? Who gave them the money? Who told them how much they have? Because the CRA or Commission for Revenue Authority makes proposals to the Senate, which then sometimes in consultation with the National Assembly agree on the figures, which then is forwarded to us as our money, and based on which we appropriate to different departments. So be that as it may, we are all in the know that currently the Senate has not passed that bill. So technically, as we are talking, actually, the counties have no money to appropriate or make budgetary provisions for. So that is arguable. But as a house, before we arrived at this conclusion, we decided that we must bring this menace to a halt once and for all. That the advantage that the executive takes in to bring in projects who have never-ending pending bills must be brought to an end. And that we come from a background that professes that the law is there to serve mankind, and mankind is not there to serve the law. So let us be even late. And the law anticipated that we could be late. And it therefore allowed under the PFMA Act that were you to be late, were you to be unable to make provisions by the 30th of June, then you could pass on account, a budget on account, so that 50% would be available for them to use on operations and on personal emoluments. But technically, constitutionally, I think I have no budget to talk about.
Okay, but that, as you say, that is debatable. But now let's talk about some of the issues that came out on the floor. And when you had the deliberations on Saturday, yes. And we are talking about underdeclared sources of revenue, and we also have the 50 million per ward for each of the 35 wards. Now, maybe break down some of these issues that were raised.
In fact, by coincidence, I'm with the chairman of the subcommittee of the budget, which actually made for us these findings, Honorable Raro. Yes. We appointed him as a chairperson of a subcommittee to raise those issues, and maybe when I don't come clear, he will be able to assist you. But we had about 4 issues. First and foremost, we had the issues of pending bills. As I told you, presently we are told, we have no tangible document we can touch on the pending bills. We are told that pending bills amount to about 2 billion shillings. Last year they purported to pay some amount as pending bills without the authority of the assembly, which is itself illegal. So we are saying that we are not going to pass this budget until we get to know what is the pending bills, who did what, where, in which financial year, so that we even prioritize it. We cannot have a situation where someone who worked in 2017, 2018 is paid before someone who worked in 2013, 2014. And this also gives room for the executive or somebody who is mischievous or people who are fraudulent to put in fraudulent claims or fictitious claims because you do not have a solid, tangible list of suppliers or contractors who form the pending bills with their work verified, known particularly where, when, and how it was done. So we are saying, give us the list of pending bills. Let us know how much you want to pay this financial year towards pending bills. The second issue that came up clearly, we cannot pass a budget without the closing and opening balances. The year ended 2018-2019. We appropriated money. We want to know how much have you spent, how much remain unspent, and of the amount remaining unspent, how much have you committed, how much has not been committed, so we are able to make provisions for it also in terms of development priorities. As we are talking, we were presented with the budget that has got no opening balance. Basic bookkeeping knowledge will tell you cannot do that. So we have told them that you have to bring to us the opening balance, and not just that. You must tell us they are in respect of which projects that you are unable to undertake. How many of those projects did you undertake halfway? What is remaining? And what have you committed and what have you not committed, so that what amount of money remains to be part of the resource envelope for the new financial year. Yeah. Now, the third issue we have had situations of undeclared resources. Like my brother here will tell you, we are getting the Gazette notice giving us a higher figure as having been the national figure, national amount given to us, and the one declared to the Assembly is far less. He will give you more particulars. We are saying we must look at them. Give us the Gazette notice. Give us the documents that tell us what is the money we collected as our revenue. We want to know what you have been given by the national government, exactly from figures that can be authenticated, from documents that can be authenticated. The final reason why we said this budget will not be passed until compliance is made in full was that there is the issue of donor funding. We have situations where the donor funds are, number one, underdeclared. We have something like about 87 million, but we have about 60 declared as the money. We want to know why that difference. We want to know why and how much of that donor funding have you used, how much have you not used, and we want to see the conditionalities. There is even a possibility that monies could be declared donor funding for purposes of treating them as conditional grants, yet they are not. So we want to see the documents that make them donor funding, that puts those conditions, so that members of the county assembly would be able to interrogate and say this is truly a donor funding on the following conditions, so that we do not treat it as part of the general budgetary provisions. So these are the issues that we brought up. The issue of about 50 million going to the wards. I want to make this thing clear to all our viewers. The members of Kisumu County Assembly have not demanded 50 million each per ward for their use. They are saying that for purposes of equitable distribution of resources, let us start this way. that in the development budget portfolio, the development vote portfolio, 50 million each should be used by the executive, not by the assembly, by the executive, not by the MCS, in their respective wards. So whether a ward is going to have extra or not, let everybody start at the equal level of 50 million, so that all the wards start at equitable level.
That is Kevin Ogutu there questioning alleged discrepancies in the Kisumu County Assembly, which has rejected the county's 2019-2020 budget. You're speaking there to the Kisumu County Speaker, Onyango Olo. A conversation that brings us to a break on News Center. Stay with us. Still more news on the other side.